Tonight on The Flow, we're breaking down the hottest topics in pop culture that are creating the biggest buzz online right now. The verdict is in for Conrad Murray, but was there justice for the Jacksons?
The court has determined that the appropriate term is the high term of 4 years imprisonment.
The nominations are in for the 2012 Grammys.
And this year's nominees for Album of the Year are... Never mind, I'll find.
Daniel Craig sounds off on reality TV and the Kardashians. And Miley Cyrus shows her support for Occupy Wall Street.
Here's all the one trying to hold you back, trying to make you feel like you're less than that, giving at the more better than to make you crack, but really just try to put your dreams on track. And you know
These are the stories that you at home are talking about the most. The Flow starts right now. Welcome to The Flow. I'm your host, Tim Cash. We're here in the heart of New York City at the Pepsi Live Lounge. Now, it's been a busy week in entertainment. You guys at home can get involved in the discussion. Just tweet us at Pepsi The Flow. But now, without further ado, please welcome my guests. We got Jessica and Charlie. Charlie, music mogul, responsible for so many acts that we love and some that we really don't. And Jessica Kirson, stand-up, you said that, not me, Charlie. Stand-up comedian and YouTube sensation. Jessica Kirson, welcome. Now, sitting next to me, a man that needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. Actor, writer Stephen Baldwin, who soon can add director to the title.
Very soon, yes.
With an upcoming movie, you're going to directorial debut.
Yes.
It's called Starting Over, and it stars your brother, William Baldwin.
Hopefully, yes.
Question. Do you have to pay him?
Yes, most definitely.
Right. No brotherly love.
He'll just...
Well, look, here you go. The biggest story buzzing right now is, of course, the Conrad Murray trial and verdict. It came out a couple of days ago. Murray was given a maximum sentence for involuntary manslaughter, 4 years. Here's the big question. Is it a fair and suitable punishment for Conrad Murray? Take it.
I don't think so. First of all, there's already word out that he's only going to do 2 years because of overcrowding in prisons.
Right, and he won't do it in state, he's going to do it in county.
Is that true?
Which is a lot nicer.
I mean, that's insane.
Does he get to play golf?
Video golf.
Oh.
So, but I think it's perhaps most definitely punishment enough that he has to live the rest of his life as the guy who killed Michael Jackson.
I mean, his career's over.
I think everywhere he goes, anytime he ever hears a Michael Jackson song, it'll creep him.
Should he be allowed to go to prison, come out, write a book, sell the book, become a New York bestseller?
I don't think he should be able to do that, but he will do it.
Right.
Because that's what happens. And also, his career is not over, because once someone does something like that, his career might be just starting. You know,
I'll be surprised if, like, somebody doesn't do something horrible to him in the future.
I'm sure they're going to do something horrible to him in jail. They're certainly not going to ask him for medical treatment. I'll tell you that for free. Here's the thing. Should he, you know, when he comes out, you know, they're saying, should he serve time or should he do community service? The guy has medical knowledge to some extent. I certainly wouldn't let him operate on me or my friends or my family. But should he be allowed to do community service?
This is a man that shot up Michael Jackson pretty much illegally. So in my opinion, he should go do community service for the rest of his life.
Right.
Period.
There you go. Now, yesterday was actually the 29th anniversary of Thriller. Coincidentally, it comes around the same time, if not exactly on the same time, as the verdict for Conrad Murray. The family turned up to X Factor, the kids, Catherine Jackson. Do you think that was very symbolic of kind of, you know, a strong, unified front and putting this behind them?
I think so. I think there was two parts to it. It was actually the family coming out together as one and showing a positive sign of what's to come. I think it was a great introduction hearing both kids speak very intelligently, by the way. If you go back and watch that tape, it was interesting to hear their sort of words talking about the future. It felt like there was something going to happen in the year ahead with both of them from possibly an artistic point of view.
Right, now here's the thing. He took part during the trial in a documentary called Michael Jackson and the Doctor, A Fatal Friendship. Rule number one, if you're in the middle of an involuntary manslaughter trial, don't do a documentary titled that in the first place. Right. Rule number two, be careful with what you do. That documentary, the judge referenced it, talking about how he was more interested in a salary, $150,000 a month, than he was in the Hippocratic Oath. How damning do you think that documentary was to Conrad Murray's case?
I think it was very damning. I mean, he's just an idiot. I'm sorry.
Call it how you see it, Jess.
I do. Listen, I'm very honest about this stuff. He's not the brightest guy, you know, and we all want to see things happen to him and whatever, but the system does not always work, and it's not always fair. You know, people get put in for, you know, simple things, and then people do horrible things, get right out. It's the way society is, but to do that kind of documentary is unbelievable. It's incredible that he did that.
And it's kind of like anything else as far as other people that get into situations like this. All they can do is repeatedly say over and over again, "Oh, I'm innocent. I did nothing wrong." It's almost like they're trying to will it into existence. But the fact that, I mean, when you think about the fact that propofol is a drug that you use, it's an anesthesia before an operation. It's like, how the guy ever thought that was okay?
He might actually be sleeping, actually. He might just be sleeping through everything. He might be drugging himself. I'm serious.
Right.
How do you know he's not shooting himself up? You have no idea.
Conrad, if you are awake and you're watching, hi. Okay, so the second biggest story trending right now, it is a very big one, and our newest story. It is, of course, the nominations for the Grammys. They were just announced, upsetting a lot of people, from Taylor Swift fans to Kanye West fans. You know, Charlie, you're a music mogul. That's what they told me to say.
Thank you so much.
Taylor Swift, you know, she sold 1 million copies in the first week. She's a huge star, yet is not nominated in the Best Album category. Same with Kanye West, critically acclaimed album, not one nomination in the Best Album category.
I think you have to understand this. This is not the People's Choice Awards.
Right.
This is not texting across America where America votes. This is the Grammys. It's a select group of industry professionals sort of deciding where it goes and leading the way for nominations. It's a very, very inside B2B approach to what happens. So there's probably an interesting reason why Taylor this year isn't going to be in that category where she was the year before. I think it also does allow new artists to sort of shine. And that's sort of what happens, but it's not the People's Choice Awards. It's really decided by people in the business to start the process off.
Is any of what you just said in your industry political and a little favoritism, or?
Well, I think people that vote, a majority of them are at music companies, so they're rooting for their artists underneath their umbrella.
Right.
There's a lot of that goes on. Then there's the communities. There's the gospel community. There's the country community. There's a lot of different polls back and forth that show the current nominations, and you can kind of get a sense by looking at them of where the pull is, where the push is.
But this is a blatantly obvious snub with Taylor Swift. And, you know, one thing that you don't do is annoy Taylor Swift fans. We actually just got a tweet in saying, very quickly, it goes, M. Hurt, can't believe @Taylor Swift got snubbed on Best Album for Grammys. She sold 1 mil in the first week. The tweet actually went on saying that they will not be tuning in for the Grammys. You don't mess around with Taylor Swift fans. This is also the first time in 5 years a country album was not nominated in the Best Album category. So tell me something. Why, you see, if she doesn't get nominated for Best Album, will they give her, you know, the other nomination? Is that how it works? There are only so many nominations you can have.
Every year is different, but she has been acknowledged before, and I think you'll see at the end of the day, some amazing artists win those awards, especially that are new and haven't achieved Grammy status.
Right.
It's funny to see Kanye West and Taylor Swift unified on the same front for the first time since the VMAs.
100%.
Right, absolutely.
The snub front.
A couple of other, problems there was Lady Gaga, huge artist, not nominated Record of the Year. She missed out on it at last year's Grammys. She's not even nominated this time in the Record of the Year category. When we start talking politics, the bigger the artist, the bigger the label, the bigger that they want that artist to win big, right?
Yes.
That's a big a lot of times.
Yes.
I want to take, for example, last year's category, Best New Artist. It was Justin Bieber was up for that. Everyone loves Justin Bieber. He should have won it. Instead, it was won by a girl named after a basketball. What's her name? Esmeralda Spalding.
Yes.
After a basketball.
Yeah. What's going on there?
Well, again, you have to look and see who's voting. It's the music community of music professionals. And that particular vote, she really got the most votes within that community. Right. Again, I go back to saying it's not the People's Choice Awards. Right. It's the Grammys. It's a very, very different outcome, and it's really industry specific. That is what we're seeing here today.
It's kind of weird, man, because it makes me think about the movie business in the sense that you know, if you look at the movies that make money the most, it's mostly G-rated animation, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that is in the minority.
Or Twilight.
Right.
Yeah.
But even still, that's to a specific demographic.
Right.
When a lot of stuff that comes out is potentially not so family friendly, or it's more artsy, or what, you know what I mean? So to your point, it's just interesting that you would think the industry would follow more of the people's choice, but I guess probably what keeps the art part of it more alive is that those people have a certain drive and a force to be involved in what keeps coming out and what's fresh and what's new.
But if you
I think that's great. I really do. I think people that are new, that are really talented, should be acknowledged.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really do.
So what happens with social and digital media is the public's already voted on Taylor Swift, 1 million albums first week. We already know, you know, who the public voted on. Their voice is louder than ever. But I do think it's important to have a committee, a group of people at the Grammys to sort of, you know, keep it fresh and new and have an approach and opinion to it. There's the voice of voting, which we have in American Idol and X Factor, and of course the People's Choice Awards, and the American Music Awards to a certain degree. But the Grammys and the Oscars are specific to the world of art and the people that live in that world, and it's voted by the peers for the peers.
Right. So here's the final thing very quickly. With the 54th anniversary of the Grammys, sorry to cut you off.
No.
With the 54th anniversary of the Grammys, with them nominating, you know, electronic acts like Skrillex in the Best New Artist category, you tell me, are the Grammys still relevant?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, I think so.
I think they are, and I think this is the year of Adele, and I think you'll see that magical night happen on that show,
Right.
an important moment of
Good
a woman
point.
that's touched everyone around
Very
the world.
cool.
That show works.
Good point, Charlie.
I'd like to do an improv.
Go ahead.
Okay, you are Taylor Swift, and
That's perfect because I look like her.
and I'm telling you, that you didn't get the nomination, even though you've sold 1 million records. How does that feel? Go.
It's fine. I'm totally fine with it.
Okay.
That's great, amazing. Now, the next biggest story tonight is, of course, Daniel Craig and his dislike for reality TV. But I want to skip ahead and talk about the Miley Cyrus new video for Liberty Walk. I don't know how much you know about this, whether you've seen the video, but she had a song, Liberty Walk. She decided to make a video and put together footage of the Occupy Wall Street clashes with police, the riots, the violence, and everything else. Stephen, I'll start with you. Miley Cyrus, Occupy Wall Street, it melds really well, huh?
You all saw my Hannah Montana tattoo, right?
What?
No.
Right there, that's my
I don't
Hannah
have a
Montana.
Hannah Montana
That's
tattoo.
perverted.
That's not a Hannah Montana tattoo.
Look it up on Google.
Google me.
Google it.
I will, straight
Okay.
after this.
I don't know why I'm proud of that. But anyway, I know Miley.
Yeah.
She's a terrific gal. I think she's funny and talented. And I think that I'm 45 years old. And I've kind of learned when to hopefully say something and when to shut up.
Right.
I think that if she has a generalized opinion that is good for you, stand up for what you believe in, that's nice. But maybe down the road, with a little more wisdom, she'll realize some things just aren't worth fighting for with opinions.
Right.
Because it can affect you in ways you may not have anticipated. That's my opinion.
There you go, and you're entitled to it. Jess, Miley Cyrus doing Occupy Wall Street, does it help or hinder the campaign?
Oh, I definitely think it helps the campaign. It's not going to hurt it. It's press, you know, and I believe that she really does believe in the whole thing. Like, I don't think it's just for press or any. I think it seems to me she's the kind of person, if she believes in something, you know,
she speaks out. Right?
She speaks out on it, which is fine. I think it's definitely going to help the campaign. I still don't understand. Your phone's ringing.
Yeah, sorry, do you want to take it? You can take your phone call. Of
Is
course,
that
it's Stephen
cool?
Baldwin. You can do
Who
whatever
is
you
that?
like.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
just no problem at all. We'll just talk amongst ourselves. Sorry, Stephen's got to take a phone call real quick.
I
Who is it?
cannot even believe
Yeah.
what's
Hi,
happening.
honey, how are you?
Oh, thinking about the flowers.
Okay, I'll
right.
pick up the flowers on the way home, okay?
Sorry,
I love
one
you.
second.
He
We'll be
is
right back with you.
so
Bye.
whipped. It's
You said-
unbelievable.
Wow. Stephen.
That
We're
is
gonna move on.
So pathetic. I can't even
That's
believe
just so
what you
whipped.
just. And you,
Good in
and you,
picking
and
up
you
the
got very
flowers.
tense. Excuse me, he got very tense.
Almost
okay.
fearful.
I'll get the flowers.
Jess, almost
like, you
fearful.
Got really nervous.
Do you want to talk about it? No, we can talk about it. We're all friends here.
That was my wife.
Okay.
And she said, don't forget to pick up the flowers that I
have forgot to pick up.
And I've now set it to vibrate. So.
Okay, and the worst
Shall we
part,
continue?
The guest
to
there.
pick up the flowers.
Yes.
That's even worse.
All right, we have to move on. The final story, one of the biggest ones of the day is, of course, Daniel Craig in an upcoming issue of GQ magazine. It's a fantastic quote. I'll do it very quickly. He goes, talking about fame. If you sell off, it's gone. If you can't buy it back, you can't buy your privacy back. I want to be alone. F you. We've been in your living room. We were at your birth. You filmed it for us. You showed us your placenta. And now you want some privacy? Look at the Kardashians. They're worth millions. He goes on. All you have to do is behave like an effing idiot on television and they'll pay you millions. I'm not judging. Well, yes, you are, Daniel Craig. Go ahead.
What's a placenta?
It's the...
Let me show you.
Now, Daniel Craig is married to that gal.
Rachel Weisz. Weisz, you love her.
Weisz, right? Weisz? Weisz.
And she's terrific.
Yes.
And he's terrific.
Yes.
Okay, so what's his point?
He basically doesn't like the Kardashians. I'm very surprised at the fact that the guy that plays James Bond watches the Kardashians in the first place. That bothers me a great deal.
That's his little guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of ass on that show.
I think anyone that's met Kim, and we all have, she's a lovely girl.
I've never met her.
She connects with everybody.
She's very sweet.
And she promotes the universally relatable emotion. She knows exactly what she's doing. And if you meet her in person,
and she looks
she's
great
consistent.
on film.
Now, did they go a little bit too far with the divorce after X amount of weeks?
72 days, Charlie.
That was probably a mistake. That won't happen again. But if you meet Kim, she's going on for a very long time. She's
well,
like,
look, you tell me something. If, for example, she did happen to find true love, right? And whip someone into shape and married the guy.
Are you single?
Yes. Okay. I would love to, but I think she's slightly out of my league. You know, would we ever take her seriously? Again, if she just...
I love her. I don't... Listen, TV is all about reality right now. Everyone watches it. It's... I mean... You know, she's great. I don't think she's ever going to get old. I don't think any of them are. I respect it, and people get divorced after 72 days sometimes.
On
TV? I happen to meet
by the way,
5 times
again, we
already.
talk about the universally relatable emotion. People relate to the fact that divorce is rampant across America, and the fact that she's doing Weight Watcher type of things.
Right.
And the products that she pushes sells. Simple.
She's
Public's
doing
made the
Weight
decision.
Watchers?
They love her.
Is she doing Weight Watchers?
Yeah, she does everything from sketches to weight losses. Now, one thing I want to talk very quickly about is where does it all end for the Kardashians? Sooner or later, she can't be doing this when she's 60-something
I heard the mom's going to do Dancing with the Stars.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. That's the word on the street.
Charlie, you tell me the word from the inside track. Will the younger sisters, the Jenners, take over?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think the mom is a brilliant marketer. She understands. And I go back to saying, when they sit around the table, they know exactly what they're doing, except for the wedding. They know exactly what they're doing and where they're going. It is all well thought out.
All right, well, look, there you go.
I heard Bruce Jenner's going to be on Top Chef.
I don't quite know what to say to that, Jess. Did you hear that? Is it true? Is it a good thing?
Do you want to call your wife?
Listen, we will stay here and we'll continue giving Stephen a hard time at being whipped by his wife and having to be called and pick up the flowers on a live TV show.
Can we just clarify that
It's
for
just
a
rude,
second?
Stephen, just rude.
It is.
Well, look, that's it for The Flow, but the conversation still continues online right here and on Twitter at Pepsi The Flow. Make sure you tune in Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We will see you guys then. Stephen, really? Like...
I'm in love.
I get it, but come on. Did you pick up the flowers? You tensed up.
I will. I got time. I got time.
The best was Miley to your wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are the flowers for?
Can I tell you my favorite moment?
Yeah.
What?
Is when you said people get divorced after 72 days.
And she's done it